Well, welcome back to the Under His Construction Show with your host, Cassaundra Marie. We are back in the living room, and we are so glad to have you all back with us. And once again, we are inviting you to join us in our virtual living room and hope that we will purposely and intentionally say something that will inspire your daily living. It's through our bold and transparent conversations that is truly our heartfelt desire to encourage and build each other up with the acceptance that nobody really knows it all. We don't really know it all. We are simply here to sharpen and strengthen each other. So we invite real people who are having a real spiritual walk to have real talk. So please share this and tell a friend that we are here and ready to go under his construction.
Work on me, fix everything, make me over head to toe if necessary. Moving forward kind of frightens me, but it's the only way to get the best out of my life. So I try to strip the mask off, try my best to release all of me to this process of newness, reinvention and grooming. The power within, I might win, I just might win. I am under
Construction. Doing what I gotta do for me. Welcome back to the living room of Under His Construction. We are so glad to have you back with us. Please help my algorithm do a happy dance by clicking like and share. Like and share. You would really support us the best way possible by clicking like and share. And we welcome and invite you to join us with your comments, to participate, or you can simply view this episode today. We are so excited to get started. A couple of weeks ago, we had a family barbecue. We had a bringing together of three family lineages at a family barbecue in New Jersey. And it was the first time it was ever done in such a way. So today is a spinoff talking about family values and why are family values so important? Why are things like that so important to have, and what impact does it have on the family and that we pour into society when we have those type of events? So today I have invited my very own family here today to have that discussion. I said, nah, I'm not going to invite strangers or different guests. I'm going to bring my very own people. So today I have invited all the way from Indiana my cousin Irma Kinsey. Welcome, Irma, to the living room of Under His Construction. How are
Hello.
you?
Real good. Real good.
You okay?
Yes.
I'm so glad to have you today.
Yeah, the picture.
Uh, Okay, also from Milwaukee, Wisconsin is my other cousin, Dorothy McBride. Welcome, cousin Dorothy. How are you?
I am just fine.
I Okay, there you go. All right, there you go. How you
I
guys
am
doing?
Very good.
great,
Very good.
blessed.
And I'm sorry, these notifications is driving me nuts today. I can't seem to get them turned off, but I'm gonna continue to click them off to be on top of them. So today we are talking about family values. So let me just ask you really quick: when you think of family values, and I'll start with you, Irma, what is it that you think of first when you think of family values?
Family getting together and sharing uh, uh, their faith together and doing things that's going to bring the family together.
Yeah, that's kind of what I think of. When I think of family values, I think, those start right at the kitchen table.
Mhm.
Things that are important for my children to that's going to eventually take out into society.
Mhm.
Uh, Cousin Dorothy, what are some family values that you thought was important to instill in your children?
And like my cousin Irma just said, family gatherings, love within the family, compassion toward each other, just coming together and having a good time, enjoying life with one another.
And it used to be a family, as we know, look much different from yesterday than it does today. What has happened to the look of family values from yesterday to today? Because it used to be where families really took care. The value was that we took care of each other. You wouldn't see a family member hungry. You wouldn't see a family member homeless. I don't care if you had to make a patty on the floor, on the couch. Those were the type of values that were instilled in the family. It was a
Hmm.
solid foundation of the family. But
All
it
right.
seems like now family, we'll let each other go homeless. We let each
Mhm.
other go hungry. Like, what has changed within our family system, with our value system? I'll start with you, Irma. What do you think is changing?
Well, definitely the family love has been cooling off. And we see, in the news how ones have, because of greed, ones has been turning their family in, uh, doing things to their family just for the mighty dollar. So,
Mm,
as the Bible has brought out, the love of the greater number has cooled off. So we see that's happening
mm.
in the family too. There's no natural love anymore. You love unconditional love. You love the family no matter what they're going through. Like you said, we're there for one another. We take our family in. I mean, my cousin, my daughter, my son, anyone that's going through things, we take them in. But nowadays, it's like, no, it's all for one another, all for themselves.
Mhm.
So the love of the family is growing cold.
That is so absolutely true. I mean, and I bet that just sat in God's heart because God is love, and and it is sad how love, how you put it, has cooled off. We just don't love each other the same for whatever reason. I don't know if it's hurt or whatever it is. We just don't seem to love each other the same or even understand what love is supposed to look like or feel like for
Mhm.
whatever reason. Dorothy, what do you think are some reasons why, the family values have changed from one period to now?
Well, I see a separation within the families. The families don't
Mm,
come together like we used to, and the lack of family love. Everybody wants to do their own thing within their family unit instead of coming
yeah,
together as a family, as the whole family. So separation is one thing
yeah.
that's going
That
on
is
within the.
true. That's true as well. That's why it was so great when we came together. We bought three lineages. Excuse me. Uh, James Ratliff, Robert, and Arthur Ratliff, the three Ratliff brother, the lineages, and we brought them together, their children and grandchildren and great grandchildren. And a lot of times we all living in the same state and city and didn't even know each other or
Yep.
didn't even speak to each other, but we came together under one day, under one pavilion, and it was absolutely marvelous. It was such a love and unity there. Some people told me it felt like a national holiday.
Mhm.
Like,
Most
I
definitely.
mean, things were, even where things, hiccups happened, the people filled in where there was gaps missing, ran to the store and got things. It was such a spirit of unity there and love, like the heart of God was there. The heart of family was there. We miss each other. And I think it's important that we show the next generation that, because do you feel like the next generation has become discouraged with family? I'll start with you, Irma. Do you feel the next generation has become discouraged with family?
Yes, because today there's no trust or loyalty in the family,
Mm,
and so people are
mhm,
not willing to make sacrifices, and that's
mhm.
easier said than done because when you're trying to help ones who are not helping themselves, it is kind of in vain, and so ones are looking at one another and saying, "Well, what is she doing to help herself?" But the thing about it is, we want to be
Mm.
encouraging to one another. Everyone has uh, shortcomings. No one is perfect, and some others may have strength that's stronger than others, and other things. We all have strength. We all have weakness, and so we need to be aware of one's weakness and strength so we can encourage them. And so that's where the trust and loyalty comes into the family. So we need to build that up. I mean, it's just like a marriage mate. Without trust, we need trust to for love to flourish. So without trust, that's essential to have that trust for love to flourish. And that's why the love in the family is cooling off because there's no trust there. And so we can't build that loyalty up toward one another.
And it's so true. It truly breaks my heart when I hear family members say, "Oh, I'm no longer associated with that family name," and they go and try to find and associate themselves with other family names and connect themselves to other family. And I just feel like, God put you in this family for a reason. If He wanted you to be a Robinson, you would be a Robinson. He put you in this family for a reason. So, Dorothy, let me ask you, what can we begin to do to start building that trust as Irma spoke of?
Well, let our youth, our children, and young people see us coming together, see us getting together as older adults and loving each other and helping each other, being there for one another. Giving them the support, the love, and the help that they need.
Absolutely. I was saddened by one event that happened. It was about a week after the family barbecue. I heard that two cousins had got into a physical dispute.
Mm,
I got a phone call about it. And it really saddened my heart that these two cousins got into a physical dispute. Um, and I kept thinking one of them really got hurt and had to go to the emergency room, and the
mm,
other one didn't have any remorse at all. And I was like, wow, both of them are really damaged. Both of them are really hurting. And I really just prayed for both of them. And I just thought it was really sad that they would get to the point of hurting each other because these are family members. And one of the young ladies even said, "You would do this to me, and I'm your cousin." So we have gotten to the point. And the young lady, other response said, "Well, if I would hit my mother, I would hit you." So if we're to the point where the next generation is hurting so bad that they will hit their parents or disrespecting parents, what times are we in? Cousin
Mhm.
Dorothy, I'll come to you. What times are we in if we're living in a day where the young people are okay with hitting their parents or
mm.
disrespecting the elders?
Sad.
I'll come to you, cousin Dorothy.
Hmm. Repeat the
What
question.
times are we in?
You know, children nowadays, parents want to be their children's friend,
Yeah.
and they don't get the respect from the parent can't get the respect from the children because you're doing some of the same things that your children are doing. Some of the parents are going
Hmm.
out with their children, drinking with their children, smoking with their children, so they don't get the respect. The children don't respect them as a parent. I respect you as my friend because you don't act like my mom. You don't act like you're my dad. Yeah, like we're homies or we're buddies. And if a parent makes them angry, they're reaching out hitting because I don't look at you as my mom. I don't look at you as my dad. I look at you as a friend that have made me angry, and I'm gonna reach out and hit you if you do something to me that I don't like.
Right.
But we
You
can get that
can't be a parent.
and
I'm sorry. Go ahead.
we can get that back, like by being a parent. If this is your child,
Mhm.
you be the mother, you be the father, not their friend. and maybe you can gain respect from
Mhm.
them.
You can't be a parent at selective times. You have to be their parent all the time. It's okay, especially when you have adult children. You
Mhm.
may have a friendship relationship, but with the understanding that you're still the parent.
You're
Mhm.
still the parent.
I
Mhm.
have an adult child in the house, and I have a relationship with her where she understands that I'm still the parent. I believe I
Mm.
have a friendship with her. I let her know that she can talk to me about anything. I'm open, but I'm still the parent, and she respects me as the parent. And you can't go out and live a life with your child on that level. And then when they make you angry, now you want to be the parent. Because
Mhm.
Mhm.
exactly what you said, Cousin Dorothy, now they don't look through you through the lens of a parent.
All right.
They look through you through the lens of a girlfriend or a buddy.
Mhm.
But now they didn't made you angry. So now you want to take on the authority of a parent. No, you have to make up your mind. You can't serve two masters. You're gonna have to choose what lane you're gonna be in.
Mhm.
All
Yeah.
right.
You're gonna have to choose what lane you're gonna be in. So we're causing confusion, is what I hear you say. We're causing some mixed messages, is what I hear you say.
Yes.
So even I did this family tree, and I let the family tree, I did a portion of a family tree, I could say. The family tree went up, it was the we can show the family tree right now. I show the family tree. I did a portion of a family tree and showed my grandfather and grandmother, their children, and I selected just one of each person's child because it just I mean I would have a humongous tree if I picked everybody's child. So I said, let me just pick one of each person's child. And I cannot tell you how criticism came from that, but also people saw my heart as well. So both came from it, and I believe most people saw, the majority of the people saw my heart and my intention from it. That it was to show our connection as the lineage of Norman Ratliff,
Mhm.
Norman and Elma Ratliff. So it was just a portion of the tree because we are
Mhm.
such a large, God blessed us to be such a large family. I'm
Mhm.
sure, Cousin Dorothy, if I took your tree from just your grandparents, it would be a huge tree, right?
Mhm.
You know it. It would be a huge tree. Yes, it would.
It would be a huge tree. So my thinking is maybe the next person will build on what me and my cousin Connie kind of started as this first event.
Mhm.
When God gives us something to do as a first timer, we build on it. And it
Mhm.
get better and better. The next tree that the next person do will be even a larger tree where more
Mhm.
people will fit on the tree.
Mhm.
So, just not be so quick to put our mouths. I think with family values, to walk in family values, we can't be so quick to put our
Mhm.
mouths on family members in a negative way, in
Mhm.
a judgmental way. Let's look at a person's heart first. Let's take a time to say, well, let me check out her heart, her true intentions first,
Mhm.
before always just defaulting to something negative,
Mhm.
that it's just automatically something that's meant to hurt you when it's truly just may not be.
Mhm.
So I think the spirit of judgment is trying to infiltrate our families.
Mhm.
Spirit of judgment is trying to infiltrate our families.
Mhm.
Cousin Dorothy, you look like you want to say something right there.
Now, I just want to say if love and compassion is displayed in the family, then there'll be a strong, unbreakable bond within that family. So we need love and compassion toward each other within the family.
Cousin Irma.
And also, I appreciate the point is that we don't show enough appreciation for what persons do. We
Mm.
all have different strengths and different qualities and different abilities, and we can't do the same thing. I couldn't do the thing that Cassandra done. I mean, I like drawing and I dabble in art, But that family tree was nice, and it gave me some good ideals because my grandkids been asking me about the family tree. But appreciation for what each person does, and not in comparison with the other person, is very important. As imperfect persons, we have a tendency to do that. Well, I could have did this better, or so and so this. We don't want to compare like that. That person did according to their ability. Your ability may be there to do it different, but like my mom always told me, there's more than one way to skin a cat. And that doesn't mean that your way or the other way is the right way. All of them could work according to each one's need. And always taught my children, I give them suggestions, but don't do it my way. Do it your way, whatever works for you. What works for you, me may not work for you. We have to respect that, and we have to respect to agree to disagree because I may like things this way and it works for me, but you may not like it that way. It may not work for you that way. So I respect the way you're doing it. And we want to always show appreciation. And if someone gets something that's good, be proud for them. Don't say, well, I could have done it better, or why did she get that? I should have got that. No, we should be proud for them. We should be happy for the achievements that our family makes, and show appreciation for how far they have come. Be ready to give positive praise and not always ready to throw ones down. Because if you look at it, there's good and bad in all of us. But are you going to focus
Absolutely.
on the shortcomings, or are you going to focus on the things that they're doing good? Is the cup half full? Is it or it's half empty? It's still half a cup regardless. But what are you going to focus on? So we want to make our focus on the good things, the positive things, and that's what lifts us up. Because there's negative in everybody, but it takes a little bit of more attention and a little more effort to find the good things and the positive things in people. And so we want to always help our family. And like Dorothy said, we want to set the example because it's not what you say all the time; it's what you do that makes a difference with children and ones that are onlooking. If you getting upset over something little, it's gonna stand out. But if somebody wastes something on you and spills something on you, you say, "Oh, that's okay, no problem." That's gonna stand out. That you didn't let that negative thing pull you down. What's wrong with that child? Why did she do that? Do you have any manner? Oh, that's okay, sweetheart. We all make mistakes. That's how you want to look at things. You don't want to look at things in a negative way because if you do, you just bring yourself down. That's why I look at it. You just bring yourself down. You can be positive or you can be negative and be unhappy, or you can be positive and be a happy, peaceful person the way God made us. Jesus, Jehovah God made us to be a positive person and to bring peace. He said, depend on you, be peaceful with all men.
V. Williams says, thank you, Veronica Williams said, this is good. And Meredith Morgan says, amen. Said, amen. And it is true. To model the behavior that you want to see change is spoken that we should model that behavior ourselves. We should
Most
be the
definitely.
first person to walk in that behavior that you want to see change. I know
Mhm,
that's something that I want to do, that I try
mhm,
to practice.
mhm,
What I want to see change, I try to be that change.
mhm,
I try to be that change that I want to see. You know, um, so also, as you was talking, cousin Dorothy, and it was so true when and I was agreeing in my spirit. My aunt Belinda made a comment. She said, if we all did the same thing, how boring would we be? When it comes
mhm,
to having different, God gave us all different gifts and talents. That's what make us so unique, and make
mhm,
us, made us fearfully and wonderfully made. And He gave us all gifts and different gifts and talents. And she said how boring we would be if we all shared the same gifts and talents. Like, and
mhm,
it's so true. I can appreciate you being able to draw. I can't draw a lick. So if I need
mhm,
something drawn, I know who to go to. So
mhm,
I don't have to be intimidated, but it comes back to self-esteem and self-security. So how do we instill self-esteem and self-security values in our children? How does that start at the kitchen table? And I'll start with you, cousin Dorothy. How do we begin to instill self-esteem at the kitchen table?
One thing, don't put your children down.
Mm-hmm.
You lift them up, build them up instead of
Mm-hmm.
tearing them down.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Because a child can easily feel bad about themselves. You're talking against what they can't do, but
Mm-hmm.
Hmm.
lift them up.
Yeah.
Just let them know that you can do it. And then through Christ, all things are possible. So whatever it is that you want to do, you can do it. Put God first and go on and do what He allows you to do. But don't tear your children down. Don't tell them what they can't do. Don't call
That's
them
good.
names. You know,
Mhm.
I I hate to go to grocery stores sometimes because you hear so many negative things spoken against the small children by their parents.
Yeah.
Stupid and ignorant and things of that sort. So don't tear your children down. That hurts.
Mm-hmm.
Don't words hurt. Words
That's right.
last. So what you say can make a big impact on a child's life.
Hmm.
So lift the child up, lift the children up. Do not tear them down. So that's how I
The
feel about
biggest
that.
lie ever told is that sticks and stones may break your bones, but names will never hurt me. That's the biggest lie ever told.
Yes, it is. Cassandra, as a child, I didn't believe that. As a child, I
Mm.
didn't believe that sticks and stones may break my bone, but words would never hurt. Words do hurt. And words
Mhm.
last. You remember those words for a long time. Well, probably forever. Because
Longer than the sticks and stones, right?
I never made that statement even as a child because I learned from experience that words do hurt. They hurt you.
Hmm.
And I agree with you. That's the biggest lie ever told.
That's
They,
the
they
biggest lie ever told.
yeah, because words can hurt. Words can scar you for life.
And also I agree, you also when building self-esteem, you shouldn't, like, don't tear your children down. And also I try not to compare my children,
So,
because they each are beautiful in their own right. And I don't like to compare my children. One is not more beautiful or more worthy than the other. They're all important. I love them all the same, and they're all beautiful to me the same. Some of them have different qualities than the other and stand out in one way than the other. Even their flaws, even their
mm,
flaws are different. Some of their flaws get on my nerves more than the other flaws get on my nerves. But I try not to compare my children, because comparison is a way of seeing yourself lower. You either going to come up too high or too low when you begin to compare yourself to other people. It's not a good, healthy thing to do. And I teach my daughter and my son that never compare yourself to anybody. And you don't allow other people to draw you into a comparison like that. Competitions, there is a such thing as healthy competition. Because some people are just competitive that way, especially you have athletes and people like that who are just competitive that way. But when people try to draw you into emotional and social competition, no, I don't play those type of games, because I'm not going to let you and draw me into an unhealthy environment that's going to ultimately hurt me. It's going
mhm,
and I know you're only doing it because you're damaged. So sometimes hurt people. And that's something else we have to take notice of. Hurt people. And I don't know, cousin Irma, how do we address that when we see family members who are just hurt, and we pray for them and we know they hurt and they strike out because they're hurt, but yet we still have to engage them at different functions and stuff. So how do we approach those situations? And I'll go to you, cousin Irma.
Well, I told my kids, when it comes to ones that hurt you, I said, I let them know that we don't want to be puppets. We don't want people to pull our strings. What happens is when you retaliate or reply like form to a person that hurt you, you're allowing them to pull your strings and make you operate a certain way. So I tell my kids, I
Mhm.
said, when a person does something to you, just like I would say, we basically, in a sense, turn the sheet. We don't acknowledge it. We ignore it. We go on. I tell them, make sure the more important things. Like friends say, "Oh, your hair is so ugly," or "Your dress is so ugly." Well, I love your dress. Turn it around. Be
Mm-hmm.
positive because it brings out in Philippians 1:10 it says when you make sure the more important thing you may be flawless but not stumble others in the day of Christ. So we don't want to do anything to stumble anyone, even if they doing things to stumble. They may
Mm,
had a bad day or their father came home drunk or they just had a bad day and they lash out. Sometimes they do it without even knowing it. Are we going to lash back
Mm-hmm.
out? Are we going to let them pull our strings and make us do what they do? No, we want to be positive. We want to go on. My mother always said, if you don't have anything good to say, don't say anything at all.
All right.
So that's what I do. I mean, her sayings are so good. I mean, she's gone, but I think of all these good things she's always told me, and she got these from her
Mm-hmm.
Christian background, and she taught us that just because a person is negative, don't mean you have to be negative too. You can be positive. You
Mm-hmm.
know, your dress is ugly. Well, I love your dress. You don't have to. You don't have to go that way. If you don't, if they made you mad, just don't say anything to them. Okay, we all have different likes and dislikes, so that's okay if you don't like my hair. I love it. That's why I fix it like that. But the thing about it is we want to make sure that, like I tell my kids, we don't want anyone to force us to act a certain way, act like they're come down to their level. I said, don't be their puppet. Don't let them
mhm,
pull your string. Because sometimes people just do things just to get a rise out of, just to have fun. Just want to have fun with getting you upset. Don't let them do it. You know.
mhm.
Right.
I tell people when they come to me, like I
Yeah.
have a daughter-in-law that used to tell me, well, my parents do this and do that. I said, only person to tell me what to do in my household is Jehovah God. No
Mm-hmm.
one could direct me how to change or make adjustments in my life but him. You can't come in here in my home and tell me how to do things in my home, you know, unless you're trying to be constructive and be helpful. But to tell me not to let certain person in my house if you don't like them, what is that? I'm not your puppet. You know what I mean? I'm
That's
not gonna
right.
say, yeah, I mean, just cause my son may say how you say Jeff and he say how high, I'm not the one. I have woman and I do things according to my thing. I mean, I may be in no foreign mood like they're in a rare mood, but my friends know we don't let other persons change what we are. We don't
Mm-hmm.
become their puppet.
And when people do something to you, I found,
Hmm.
I've been in situations where family members have been mean to me.
Mm-hmm.
I was in a situation one time at an aunt's homegoing, and family members was mean to me. I gave her flowers the next day, and she was
Hmm.
like, "Oh my God, thank you so much." She didn't
Hmm.
know what to do.
Dealing with
I gave her
kindness.
flowers the
Dealing with
next day.
kindness.
Because the
Hmm.
Bible said it's like heaping coal upon their head. And
Hmm.
when you heap coal upon a person's head, you change their mind.
The
You change
disposition.
their mind.
Hmm.
So that's what he means by when you heap coal upon their head.
Hmm.
Because I'm not accountable or responsible for what you do to me, but I am accountable and responsible how I treat you.
That's
God is
right.
going to look and judge me how I conduct myself, the
Hmm.
behavior that I put out here. That's how I'm going to be judged. I'm not going to be judged at how you treat me. I'm going to be judged on how I treat you.
And like
Right.
I tell my
No,
children, it's not what happens to you that makes a difference, but how you respond to what happens to you that makes a difference.
absolutely.
All
Hmm.
right.
Absolutely. Cousin Dorothy, you look like you got something to say right there.
I just want to say that if you allow somebody to get you upset over something they said or something they did, you're giving them control over
Amen.
you. You could do like Arnold said,
No
that
power.
you're not. Don't let them pull your string. Don't let it bother you. Pray for them. Pray. God told us to pray for those who afflict us or offend us. Pray for them, and don't go on that word an eye for an eye. You kick my dog, I'm gonna kick your cat. No, it like you just said, Cassandra. It's not how they treat you; it's how you treat them, how you respond. So respond in a positive way because, like my first lady, Meredith Morgan, she just gave a comment. God knows the heart. If somebody is mean to you, they might be having a bad day. They might have something on their mind that they want to take it out on you. But by you giving the flowers, that changed that person's heart. That touched that person's heart.
Mhm.
And she might not be mean to anybody else in the way that she was mean to you because you did a good thing.
Mhm.
And
So
you
no,
don't
I
know how God is going to work on that person's heart the next time.
pray. Just pray for them. That's what
Mhm.
God told us to do. Pray for our enemies. Pray for those who abuse us. You know, want to misuse us. Pray for them because only God knows the heart. God knows what they're going through.
Only God knows what they're going through. So when we talk about family values and family morals, and we talk about it starting at the kitchen table, and even with our adult children, how can we begin to keep this moving? We started even with the barbecue. We said come together with family reunions. We spoke about bridging the gap. How can we get the message to the next generation? Give your family a chance. Give your children a chance. Start instilling family value. Change your language in your family. How can we begin to start sending this message, even on a community level? And I'll start with you, cousin Irma.
Wasn't sure of the question you were asking, but you said helping our younger ones, our children to, uh,
Yeah, begin to change the language and change
oh
the
yeah.
behavior of seeing how important family values is. Even I'm speaking on a community level. How can we begin to show them or demonstrate to them how important family values are?
And that's the key right there. Demonstration. We show by our actions, how important family values are, and as far as our language, do we permit that around us? You
All
know,
right.
for us gatherings, are we inviting our family over for family meals and things like that?
Mm,
So we have to set the example. And my children already know there's certain things they can and cannot do in my home. You don't
All
smoke
right.
in my home. You don't smoke around my home. You don't come in my home cursing. You don't disrespect
mhm,
older ones. My mother said, I don't care what they do or how they raise. You don't disrespect older ones, and you address over older ones
right.
as uncle, ma'am, Mrs., whatever. You don't say, "Hey, Irma, how you doing?" I mean, my child and not come in here and call me Irma. They better call me Mama, or other kids, Miss Kenzie, Miss Irma. You have to show those values about letting the kids know what they're allowed and not allowed to do. And I actually say to my kids, please and thank you. So, cause I want to say please and thank you. So, by your example,
Mhm.
you're showing them, honey, please do this, or thank you for this, you know. And I mean, I say, hey, Miss So and so, I dress them in a respectful way too. And like I told their dad, I said, if you want
Mhm.
respect, you got to show respect. So,
Mhm.
That's right.
you show by the example. And when we have reunions and things like that, I talk to my kids about our plans. Who wants to go? Can we all go? So it starts with the head to set the example.
That's good. That's good. Cousin Dorothy, I ask you the same question. How do you, on a community level, begin to demonstrate family values?
Let me say this. In the end of July of this year, I got the Lewis family together, my family together in Mississippi. I sent out letters to the heads of the family, and the participation we got from the young people coming from several states, bringing their children, my nephews bringing their children, nieces bringing their children to this Lewis gathering. And there was so much respect. My siblings, you, they were respected by all of the nieces and nephews, the cousins. And we set good examples in each household. There are good examples set in front of our children and grandchildren. So when we came together as a unit, a whole unit, everybody showed respect for each other. There was no cursing. There was no profanity
Mhm.
used. I heard nobody use nobody. There was no drinking. There was just fun, fun, and more fun at this gathering. And the young people touched my heart because they are the ones who asked, when are we going to do this again? They enjoyed
Yeah.
the setting. They enjoyed the gathering. They enjoyed the love that they saw among the family. And we had over 50 members there. You know, you don't get
Mhm.
100% of any
Right.
participation. You
Right.
do. But there were over 50 Lewis siblings, including with their children, their grandchildren, some of the great grands. We had a wonderful time. And those young people really enjoyed this gathering. So you
Mhm.
keep having settings like that. And they showed
Mhm.
so much, the respect was just awesome. The respect. There was no arguing, there was no fighting, there was no fussing. It was just wonderful. And we keep on setting examples, coming together and showing our
Right.
young people how it's supposed to be, how families supposed to love one another, get together with one another, have a good time with one another, but always keep Christ in the picture. Don't leave him out. It was wonderful. So just keep doing that, and that would show our young people what life is all about, what it's all about. Again, I go back to love and compassion toward one another.
And
That's
you'll be
that's
surprised
what
as you walk as an ambassador of Christ, and you be the example how people are watching.
they're watching.
It's the
Yeah.
people are watching, and you never know who's watching, and what they're
They're
learning from what you're demonstrating, or what you're actually living. You know, Foxy the gamer said, "Amen." Sister Morgan said, she said, wait, my one read. She said, yes, because only God knows the heart. She said, the word let us know that with loving kindness have I drawn thee. And she also says, say that. So thank you so much for your comments. You know, so, as we continue to walk as an example, and I think that has to be one of the most important things we said here today is being an example for them to look at, for them to follow. Don't be a confusing message for them. If we say something, just don't be a mouthpiece. Actually do what you say. Just don't say what you live what you say, but do what you say. Like, because I can say anything, but if I'm living and doing what I say, that's different from just saying what I want to say. Actually mean it by living it is what I'm saying. Live what I mean, live what I say, and not just say it just to have fancy words to say. And that's the gripe a lot of people have, even with Christians today. They say we live one thing and do another, but I'm believing God that message is going to change, that we are going to live and do what we say that we're going to do, and what the Bible tells us that we should live. you know um so I want to thank you both for joining us today, but I want to give you both the last word. I want to ask you, cousin Irma, if you were walking down the street and you saw somebody, a family member that you hadn't saw since they were a child, what would be something that you would say that would just impact their lives?
Well, the first thing I would do if I see a person that I hadn't seen in a long time from here, I would grab and hug them. I would grab and hug them and say, "How have you been doing?" So the thing about it is, you know, as we've been saying at the beginning, our action speaks louder than words. And so giving them a hug and a great smile and "I miss you," is something that persons, uh, feel that you're concerned and you care about them. But if you don't hug them and say "I missed you," or I love seeing you again. I'm so happy to see you. Uh, People feel that you don't care. But when you
Mhm.
give heartwarming words like that to ones, it really makes them feel like they're loved and they've been missed, and that you're so happy to see them. So I mean, those are some of the things I would explain to them. It's so nice, so happy to see you, and giving them a warm hug. And like we have, when our cousins, we ain't sitting along, we up all night long talking, and making other plans to get together more. So yeah, that's the first thing I would say to a person. I miss you. I'm happy to see you, and a big hug. I love you.
Cousin Dorothy, if you saw a family member, uh, oh, I hear this backlash. If you saw a family member and they look kind of disheveled to you, what is the first thing you would do or say to them?
First, I would say, like Irma said, it's so good to see you. And is there anything I can do to help? Can I help you? Do you need anything? I love you. You said look disheveled. Is there anything I can get for you?
Yeah.
Is there anything you need? Just let me know, and it won't go any further than you and me.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Amen. Because they will fill your heart. They will fill your heart. I felt it even when you said it. I felt it. Ladies, I want to thank you so much for joining me today in the living room of Under His Construction. This has been a great conversation on family values. Wow, it has really spoken some things to me today. I know this would touch the lives of somebody, if not today, then tomorrow. Whenever somebody God orchestrates for the person to watch this show right at the right time where they need to see or hear a word on family values. I just want to thank you so much for joining me all the way from Indiana and from Wisconsin.
You're so welcome.
Milwaukee, Wisconsin. No, is it right? Did I
Yep.
say Wisconsin? Oh, okay. So don't go anywhere. We'll be right back. So thank you all for joining me right here on Under His Construction. I am Cassaundra. I am your event MC. So listen, you guys, I am still hosting and available for event bookings. I'm available for all events MC. I just love hosting events, all events, wedding events, pastoral anniversary, birthday events. Just call me up, inbox me, email me, and we can set it up. I am available for your event. Just reach out to me and we can work it out. Uh, we want to thank you and ask you to subscribe to us on YouTube. That's the best way of supporting us. Go straight to YouTube, pull up Under His Construction, hit the subscribe button, and you'll be notified of our upcoming episodes. You can kind of peruse through previous episodes and at your own leisure there. Subscribe to us on YouTube and follow us on Facebook. Also, because I am a woman under construction, it's still selling on Amazon, praise God, for the low price of $13.99. This is my book, Because I Am a Woman Under Construction. It's a story of self-discovery, deliverance, and restoration. It will surely be a great gift for anyone, especially with Christmas coming up. Christmas is going to be here around the corner, y'all. It's going to be here around the corner. And it would be a great gift for anyone. Because I Am a Woman Under Construction, a story of love and power and encouragement. You can get it right there on Amazon, or you can get it through me. Just simply inbox me. Say, hey, Cassaundra, I want to get your book. Just inbox me and we'll make it happen. It'll be at your doorstep in a couple of days. And also, our contact information is there if you need to contact me. Under His Construction Talk Show, just simply email me or you can call me directly. I'm not hard to reach. Just simply call me or inbox me and give me 24 hours. I will certainly return your call. Listen, we cannot do all this talking about love without talking about the one who is love, which is God. So we want to invite you to salvation today. We never want to leave here without inviting you to salvation. Let you know that God loves you. And that if you confess with your mouth that Jesus is Lord and believe in your heart that God has been raised from the dead, that Jesus was raised from the dead, then you will be saved according to Romans 10:9. And listen, all of heaven celebrates with you. All the angels, I celebrate with you. So if you have taken this step and say, I am ready, then inbox me. There's a number there. You can call that, text that number and say, I am ready. There is someone who will greet you there, who will text you back, and we will do our best to connect with you. We will definitely pray with you, and we will celebrate with you definitely for joining the kingdom. So we want to thank you all for joining us today for another great episode of Under His Construction. Until next time, I love you. It ain't nothing you can do about it. Bye.
Work on me, fix everything, make me over head to toe if necessary. Moving forward kind of frightens me, but it's the only way to get the best out of my life. So I try to strip